Hey, what's up you guys? If you're going to be towing a trailer with your Mercedes GLE350, you're going to need trailer wiring. It's required by the law. So let's go ahead and break down that install for you. You'll need the tools seen here to complete your installation. Alright guys, so a big concern for these higher end vehicles is that for a lot of these there are not custom wiring fits for your trailer lights. And when it comes to a lot of the universal wiring kits, these owners don't want to splice or cut into their vehicle's wiring. So we're going to show you how to install the Zero Contact Interface by Tekonsha, which eliminates cutting and splicing. And it's not as complicated as you think, but we're going to be mostly in the cargo area. And first we're going to need to start by gaining access to behind the tail lights by going through the panels. So let's start by taking those out. And we'll start by removing the floor coverings. And next we'll remove the spare tire. Next we'll remove the spare tire cover. Next, we're going to remove our scuff panel by taking out this screw using a T30 Torx screw bit. Next, we'll pull up on our scuff panel, and it's being held in by these 6 white clips. All right, now on the driver's side, we'll remove this storage tray, and it's being held in by 2 plastic screws at the bottom, and it should just come off by hand. And then we'll pull up on it and remove it. Next, on the driver's side, we're going to remove this panel. So we can see our harness in here. There's not a lot of room for us to work with, so we're going to continue to take back the panels. Next, we're going to remove this cargo hook on the driver's side using a T30 Torx bit socket. Further down, there's another cargo hook that we'll remove. First, we'll remove this plastic cover with the flathead screwdriver. Right now we're going to pull back on our panel, and that will give us plenty of room to work with. And we'll repeat on the passenger side. Alright guys, now starting on our driver's side taillight harness, we can see that inside here it comes through this grommet. Now we're going to need to cut away some of this tape from this wiring harness so we can get more access to those wires. Alright guys, now we're going to need to check the brake, turn, and taillight functions in our taillight harness to determine the electrical system that our vehicle uses. Alright guys, using a test light, we're going to go ahead and test our wires to find those 3 functions. Alright guys, after testing our wires, we found that our brake and turn signals share the same wire, which means we have a 2-wire system. Now, look at your instructions to determine what that means for you. You may have a 2 or 3 wire system, or a BT or a BTT system, which has also been referred to as an ST or an STT system. All right, now that we know what kind of electrical system we use, we're going to hook up our module. We're going to be hooking up every single wire except for the red one, since we have a 2-wire system. Each of our wires will be labeled with a sticker. To open up the housing, you'll unclip it. And as you can see, there's a channel where our wire will sit into. Once we have the wire in, you can see on the cap there's an arrow. That arrow needs to be pointing to where the circuit's electrical current is going. So since our vehicle uses a negative ground, the current is heading towards the taillight, so we will have ours facing the taillight. If you have a positive ground on your vehicle, which very few vehicles do, you will need that arrow facing away from the taillight. Now we're going to hook up our left turn signal wire to the black wire with the white line. So we'll pop it open. And put the wire into the channel and lock it into place, making sure that the arrow is pointing the taillight. Now we'll keep it in place by using the provided foam tape. Now on our black wire with a purplish line, we're going to hook up our taillight wire. So pop off the housing. Now we're going to take our right turn signal wire and we're going to run it underneath our panels and through our lining towards the passenger side. And we'll pull back the liner and we'll tuck our wire behind it. And then we'll push it underneath our cargo area on the passenger side. All right, now on the passenger side, we're gonna repeat the same process that we did, and we're going to hook up the right turn signal wire to the black wire with the green line. All right guys, now back on the driver's side, pulling back the panel, right up here at the top, we have an existing ground that we're gonna use, that we're gonna take the white wire on our module box and attach it to that existing ground. And we'll use a 10mm socket to remove it. And then we'll attach our ground and we'll sandwich it with the existing ground. All right guys, now we're gonna go ahead and show you how to run the power wire. Now in the back seat, right down here underneath the passenger side rear seat, we have our fuse box. Right here is the terminal that we will be using to hook up our power wire. So we'll be using our U-Haul exclusive power wire. It has a protective loom and a fuse holder already connected. So now we're gonna need to run this back to our module. So we'll take our extra wire and we'll lift up on the carpet right here and we'll start pushing it towards the back. All right guys, now back in the cargo area on the passenger side, we're gonna pull back on the liner here by removing these two push pins. And we'll pull back the liner. And in this front corner, we'll pull out this foam block. And right in here, you can see some carpet. That's where we pushed our wire under. So we'll reach in and you should be able to pull it out. And once our wire is pulled through, we'll put our foam block back in. And then we'll tuck our wire behind the liner and bring it over to the driver's side. And then we'll bring it underneath our paneling. Now we're gonna hook up our power wire to the black wire on our module box. And we're gonna be using a heat shrink butt connector to attach those. Now we'll use our butane torch for the heat shrink. All right, now that everything's in place, we'll show you what you can do with your 4-flat harness. If you'd like to stow it in your cargo area, you can just leave it underneath the panels and keep it with the spare tire. Now, if you want to bring it down near your hitch and have it more accessible, we'll pull up on the liner right here. We have a grommet right here that we'll pull out. And we'll take our 4-flat harness and we'll push it towards the rear of the vehicle. Now we'll take our grommet and we'll cut a slit about halfway through. Then we'll take the wire and put it into the slit. And we'll put our grommet back into place. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and put back all of our liner and all of our cargo panels. Right now we're going to attach our fuse holder to our positive terminal, and we're going to remove that nut using a 13mm socket. And we'll attach our terminal ring And then we'll reattach. And we'll remove the cap from our fuse holder. And we'll insert a 15 amp fuse. And we'll tuck it in to the fuse box. All right guys, now we're gonna need to program our module using its learn mode. Now, to program it, we're gonna need to go through each of its functions while the car is on. So we'll need to go through the brake, left and right turn signals, and the tail lights, and each of it one at a time for at least 5 seconds for it to learn it. So let's go ahead and do it. So now we're holding down the brake for 5 seconds, and then we'll let go and we'll turn on our headlights, and then we'll do our left turn signal, and then we'll do our right turn signal. All right guys, our 4-flat harness comes down right next to our receiver. We're gonna go ahead and mount it using a 4-flat mounting bracket. This does not come with the kit, but you can find it at your closest U-Haul center or at uhaul.com. And we're gonna use a 3/16 drill bit to drill our first hole. And we'll put our screw into the hole, and we'll attach our bracket and secure it with our provided screw. And we'll tighten it using a 3/8 socket. And then with it in place, we'll repeat on the second hole. And then we'll put our 4-flat harness into the mounting bracket. All right guys, now that our wiring is programmed and powered, you are all ready to tow a trailer. Thank you for watching our video. If you have any questions or need more information, you can visit our closest U-Haul Hitch Center, or you can visit us at uhaulhitches.com.